Let's go to see the exercises for chapter 10, and we can start the multiple choices. The correct set of hypotheses is we have to identify the keyword. The keyword is less than 80 degrees, so this is going to be the alternative. Mu will be less than 80. And the null, of course, will be mu will be greater or equal than 80. So for this problem, the correct hypothesis is A. Multiple choice number 2, the keyword is at least 85. At least means greater or equal to. So this is the null hypothesis. Mu will be greater or equal than 85, and the alternative will be mu will be less than 85. So for this problem, the correct hypothesis will be C. For multiple choice number 3, the keyword is increase. Increase means greater than. So this is the alternative. Mu will be greater than 5. So the null hypothesis will be mu will be less or equal than 5. So for this problem, the correct answer is B. Number 4, in hypothesis testing, if the null hypothesis is rejected, then the alternative hypothesis is true. So the correct answer is B. Let's go to see the problems, and we can start with problem number 1. For problem number 1, already we know the hypothesis. Mu will be less or equal than 20, and mu will be greater than 20. This is a right tail test based on the hypothesis, and we know sigma, so this is going to be a z-test. So the first step that we have to do is to calculate the z-value. Let's do it manually a couple of times, and then we will use the graphing calculator too. X bar minus mu over sigma over square root of n. So x bar is 24.6 minus the mu from the hypothesis, 20, over 12 over square root of n, which is 36. So if you do this calculation, this is going to be equal to 2.3. Again, let's go to see now how to use the graphing calculator for the same problem. So what we have to do, we have to go to Stat, Tests, and we go to the z-test. We highlight Stats, and then let's go to see what we have for the mean. For this problem, the mean is equal to 20. The standard deviation is 12. The sample mean is 24.6. And the sample size is 36. We have to highlight the correct hypothesis, which is the third one, and then we click Calculate. As you can see, this is going to be the z, 2.3, and then below that we have the p-value. So the p-value is 0.0107. So we can write also what is going to be the p-value for this problem. The p-value is equal to 0.0107. As a result, for the conclusion, we have to use alpha 0.1. The p-value is equal to 0.0107, which is less than alpha, which is 0.01. So in this case, you reject the null hypothesis. So you have enough evidence that the mean is greater than 20, that mu is greater than 20. So this is the solution for problem 1. We start with hypothesis which is given, then we continue with the z-score and the p-value, and then the last step is the conclusion. Let's go to see now problem number 2. For problem number 2, the first step is to identify the hypothesis. So for this problem, the keyword is less than 60. So mu will be less than 60, the alternative, and the null hypothesis will be mu will be greater or equal than 60. Because S is given, this is going to be a t-test. So this is test step 1. Step 2, we have to calculate the t-value. Again, let's go to use the graphing calculator. So in this case, for the graphing calculator, we have to go to Stat, Tests. Now we go to number 2, t-test. We highlight stats. Mu is 60. The sample mean is 52. The standard deviation is 22. And the end, the sample size is 100. This is case number 2. So we have to click on the second case. And then we have to click Calculate. So for this problem, we can see the t-test, negative 3.636, and also the p-value. The p-value is 0.00022, 0.00022. So the t is negative 3.636. Step 3, the p-value based on the calculator is 0.00022. This is the same as we got in the calculator, 2.2 e negative 4. That means you have the 4 zeros before the number. And finally, the conclusion, where the p-value is less than alpha. So in this case, you reject the null hypothesis. So you have enough evidence that mu is less than 60.